client brief was fairly simple. It was for a young couple who at that point had no kids. Now they have two. It required a living room, 4 bedrooms, a guest bedroom, a study, a den, and then living spaces. The location is actually quite interesting. It's in Malcolm Bagh. Malcolm Bagh is the Parsi Bagh. It's a Parsi only sort of living area. This Bagh is unique because it primarily has bungalows. So the different plots arranged around open spaces, and each plot is given to a single bungalow. So we were lucky enough to have one of these open areas right in front of our plot. We had a small service road here and we had a plot here. Now this plot was roughly about 6,000 square feet and we ended up building about 4,500 square feet, including the basement, which is frankly not covered in FSI. The reason why the clients chose this plot is right next to this, over here, was a plot owned by the girl's parents. They specifically wanted this plot, which they were very lucky with because it ended up being the second last plot in the colony which went on sale. Because what they could do was amalgamate the two properties into one larger space. Had this been the only site that they had, this would have probably been an outward looking home. Because of the arrangement of this home versus this home, we ended up connecting their living spaces in this manner. You had a living space here and we had the primary living space on this side over here. What we did was we broke down the fence in between and joined the two open areas into a larger open space. Even though this is in a Parsi Bagh which is relatively low density, we did have plots over here and over here which looked into these spaces, which was something our clients were wanting to avoid. So what we did was we created a plan which primarily worked like this, which looked inwards and which looked outwards towards their other second plot. So that was the general massing and programming of the house. On the lower floor we had a living area over here, a dining and a small patio on this side, which culminated a series of open spaces from the parents' home into their home. And around that we had the den and an extra guest bedroom with services at the back. Now the upper floor was arranged a little differently, where we had a double-sided space which again overlooked this area. And what we did was we introduced two courtyards within the home, one over here and one in this area, because the periphery was primarily closed off on these three edges. So to allow greens and a feeling of openness within the home, we introduced courtyards. Around these courtyards you had the different bedrooms and the den over here. In terms of massing, it's fairly simple. You have an elevated box, white box which is clad in white marble, under which you have one Tatwario wall, which makes it feel like the entire mass is floating. The materials used in the project are fairly simple. Australian white marble, we had black granite, teak wood veneer, and just a little bit of marquina in the toilets. The reason being, the client was requesting for a Spartan looking house. He's a big Apple fan. He wanted minimal detailing, minimal stuff on the wall, no artwork on the walls, and shadow that the house was creating, which he wanted to preserve rather than fill it up with stuff. Because of which the courtyards give a lot of light coming in. We have a double-lighted space, we have courtyards on both sides. So the kind of light that you get into the house was something quite special. I think something that we sort of learnt in the project is that landscape can play a very important role in creating a particular feeling within the home. Since this was on a plot adjacent to their parents' home and we joined the two landscapes together, just giving a lush green landscape and orienting the house towards that gives a feeling which is quite unique, something that is not really perceived in homes in Bombay, even larger city bungalows, which is something the clients really appreciated.